Good morning, everyone. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. Thanks. So and you're able to see my screen as well, right? Yeah, we can get started quickly. Let me open the workspace. Yeah. Let's quickly go through what we have discussed yesterday. So yesterday we looked at local variables for a lambda, correct? So can someone tell me what are the limitations whenever you are writing a local variable in the lambda?
We need to provide both as well.
Yeah. Come again?
We need to provide whatever the data type name. We need to provide all names like where if you want to give.
Okay. Anyone else?
No skipping, no mixing.
Okay. And apart from that, parentheses should be there, correct? No skipping in the sense, if you have more than one variable, one argument, all the arguments should have the var keyword. That means one variable I will keep, one variable I don't keep. That is not accepted. Okay, and no mixing is nothing but when one variable you can keep var and another one you can keep integer. So that is also not allowed. And whenever you are writing the lambda for a local variables for a lambda, you need to have the memory, brackets, correct? When I say brackets, open parenthesis and close parenthesis. So this is what this we have discussed yesterday, and we also discussed about the reduce method, correct? So in the using the reduce method, if it is a user-defined object, like I have a collection object which internally stores the generics as a user-defined object, then how can I use the reduce method? Can I use directly the reduce method on the stream,
On top of
or
map,
what should I do?
on top of map.
With the help of map.
Okay, so why is that mandatory map method? Why not I
So,
can do it directly?
because the wrapper classes consist of only one type, but user defined class consists of so many like salary, like age
So
or
whenever
something.
you are using a reduce method takes some operator. When I say accumulator, that means you want to perform some operation. So you can perform the operations on a string, integer, long, double, byte, boolean, correct? So on this kind of a wrapper classes only you can perform the operations. But whenever I am taking a employee class, can I perform the addition of employees? What does it meant by addition of employees? We don't understand, correct? So I can I can do the addition for a employee salaries. I can do the concatenation for a employee names. But if the employee object itself is given, can I do the perform the addition? First of all, does it make sense addition of employees?
No.
No. So that's the reason. So from the employee, whatever the action that you want to do, you need to get that argument. So in order to get that argument, we use a map method. So if it is a collection is containing the user defined object, then map followed by reduce we need to use. So what is the advantage of reduce method?
It will reduce to a single value.
Yeah. So is it a terminal or intermediate operation?
Terminal.
Yeah. So does it give the optional object or directly normal object? It provides the
Optional
optional
integer.
object. Yeah, optional. So if you are using a reduce followed by supplying the integer argument, then it will give optional int. If it's a double, optional double. If it is a normal object, you're not mentioning its object, then it returns optional object. Okay. So I can perform if example, if you want to remember, you want to do the sum of all the salaries, you want to get the greater salary of employee, lesser salary of employee, or you want to perform some other mathematical operation, then that you can do with your reduce method. And when it comes to a string, so if I'm doing m plus a plus b, what does it mean? String concatenation I can do using a reduce method. So reduce method will reduce the input to one object. So that is what we have seen in the last class, correct? Does anyone have any questions so far? Okay, I hope no questions. So now today we are going to look at HTTP client. So now, can you tell me whenever you are you guys know how to create a Spring Boot application? Everyone? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
So in the Spring Boot application, do you guys write a endpoint, REST endpoint? @ get
Yes, sir.
mapping, @ post mapping, or request mapping some attributes? Okay. So whenever you want to test it, how do you test that REST endpoint?
Using Postman or Swagger.
Using Postman or something, correct? So now if you are doing the HTTP request, now if it is a web application, your UI will call your REST API, correct? So in order to do this one, that request and response handling, so currently in the regular Java application, we use some third-party tools. What are those third-party tools? Let me show you guys. Okay. So here, whenever you are using this creating a Postman or this one, so HTTP URL connection, Apache HTTP client. So these are the third-party tools through which you can create a HTTP request. And then see, whenever you are clicking on a button, login button or any button in the UI, can I say that request will be created and that will come to the backend your service?
Yes.
Who is creating the request? How the request is getting created? Do you have any idea? Did you guys understand my question first of all? So I have a web application, assume that Facebook. You will enter the username and password, and whenever you click on login button, can I say that the request will go to the backend?
Yes, sir.
If the backend is having a REST API, I think like Spring Boot application, which will have a REST endpoint. Now, whenever you click on login button, there will be post mapping or some get mapping will not be there because password will be shown in the URL. So post mapping will be there. So can I say that immediately your control will go to the post mapping of that login button?
Yes, sir.
In that method, you have a request, correct? Whatever the username password I have entered in the form or in the UI, can I get that argument request.get attribute?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So, but that means directly from the after, whenever you click on the button, automatically HTTP request is created. Agree?
Yes.
Who is creating? Do you have any idea?
So the dispatcher servlet will create the server.
Okay, dispatcher servlet, but how it is creating?
Actually,
Header body.
we have, we have a
payload.
method called HTTP response and HTTP request methods.
Okay. No. What dispatcher servlet will do is whether you are doing a get method or post method, accordingly, it will go to the get method or
Yes.
post method control like
Yes.
that, correct?
Yes,
But
yes.
before coming into the HTTP dispatcher servlet, what is the input for a dispatcher servlet? It is also a HTTP request, correct?
Yes, HTTP request.
But how that before coming to the dispatcher servlet is itself, can I say that HTTP request is created before
Yeah, by
coming
web
to the
browser.
dispatcher servlet, right? Do you agree that before coming to the dispatcher servlet, HTTP request should be available? Then
Yes.
only the dispatcher servlet will take.
Based on the authentication, it will find. Yes.
Yeah. So the reason now the question comes, who will do it? So whatever the Spring Boot application you are doing, right? Spring Boot server, Apache Tomcat server, right? So it has inbuilt this HTTP URL connection, Apache HTTP client, some third-party jars will be there. So those are responsible to create a request. And whenever you are from the REST API, you are giving Java object, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
That will be converted automatically to a JSON object, correct?
Yes.
Who is converting that?
Some jar file.
Jackson.
The JAXB XML will be there.
Yes.
But am I writing any code?
No, you are not writing any code there.
So the thing who is converting? So that means, can I say that the
Third party.
Apache, the Spring Boot framework and the Apache Tomcat server together, they are converting the whatever the Java object into the JSON object.
Yes.
Instead of JSON, if you want, you can create a XML object also.
Yes.
You can create some other object also, whatever you want, correct?
Yeah.
So in order to do that, we were using Apache HTTP client or HTTP URL connection. These are some classes which we will use generally. But from Java 11 onwards, there is a class that is created called HTTP client. So now if you want to test your application, you don't need a Postman. Directly using HTTP client, you can test your application. See, why do you use what do you give in the Postman?
Method body.
So in the Postman, first I will give the URL right on top. For example, in my local laptop, I have deployed one Spring Boot application. Then in order to access the application, what I will do, http://localhost port number / my application name. This is my URL. Can I say that this URL I will give in the Postman first? And then if it is a get method, I will put the get method, select the method as get. And if there are any request parameters, I will put it in the header. And then I will click on the send button, correct?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Fine.
Yeah. Is that what we do?
Yes.
Yeah. So whenever you do that, request will go to your service. Okay. Now, so for that you need some third-party jars and etc. So, but for using this HTTP client, you don't need. Automatically, you can create a HTTP request. You can send the request, and then you can get the response also. Let us look at how do we do. See here, this HTTP. Whoever is not speaking, please go on mute. Yeah, thanks. So HTTP client is a class, abstract class. Look at here. This is what it is created in the Java 11. Okay. So using this one, you can get a HTTP request. You can create. You can send the request. You can get the response. See here. First, you need to create a HTTP client. Okay. By calling the new builder method, it is returning a HTTP client. Okay. Now, let me go back. Okay. Now look at here. Now HTTP client dot new builder. So this will give you the client object. Okay. Now there are different versions of protocols and some websites. So for example, whenever you are trying, if I want to open some website, it will try whenever you open any website, I can say that you can see that here, it will, you can see some processing symbol will come, correct? Here, something like this. Yes or no?
Yes.
Round symbol. It will wait for some time. If the website is not responding, can I say that I will get a timeout exception?
Yes.
Yeah. So that means how much time you need to wait. So that means how many milliseconds or how many seconds I need to wait. That also you can mention during the connection timeout. That means till 10 seconds, it will try to connect. After 10 seconds, it will it will show the timeout error. So by calling this in the HTTP client abstract class, by calling this new builder method, it is following the builder design pattern. And by calling this one, you can set what is the version of HTTP request you want to keep and what is the timeout. And then whenever you call build method, first you need to create a HTTP client. Using this client, you can call you can send a request and you can get a response. Now here, see here, I got a HTTP client. Okay, I created, done. That means in the HTTP client, what I'm mentioning, what is the version of HTTP protocol I'm using, what is the connection timeout, and you have some other methods as well. Look at here. So what is authenticator? For example, you want to, whenever you want to use access any website, internally they will follow some authentication technique. Where I mean like username, password, or session management or something. So that also you can mention. So cookie handler. Okay. So you can create a HTTP client by passing all these arguments. Now I got the HTTP client. Once I get it, I can, in order to send a request in this HTTP client, I have a send method. This send method, you need to create a request and then you will get a response. Okay. Now from the response, whenever you click any website, what is the response you get? If you see whenever your website is not accessible, can I say that you will get a 404 error and 500 error?
Yes. 404.
So 404 means what is the problem?
Not found. Response not found.
Okay, what is the 500 error?
Internal
server.
No, sir.
Server down, correct?
Yes.
That means that is nothing but a status code, right?
Status code.
For example, if you are getting a 200, what is the meaning of 200? It's a success response, correct? Yeah, okay or success. So whenever you get a status code as 200, can I say that you will get a response also?
Yes, it has to become
Yes,
successful.
sir. HTTP
Yeah.
status.
Now, so now here, when I open the google.com, www.google.com, can I say that so google.com is one application. I'm giving you the request here by entering the www.google.com. Can I say that I'm accessing that application? Yes or no?
Yes,
Can I access this application through the Postman?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Correct. Now let us see whether can we access this application. So that means without Postman, can I access this one? Now, so here so in order to create a request, you need to have the client. Yes, I have the client. And what kind of a request you are sending? So in order to create a request, we can call HTTP request.newBuilder and then URI. What is the URL you want to give? So I have given HTTPS www.google.com. And why am I giving the get method? What type of a method? Is it a get method or post method, something? Okay. Now let us run this program and see what is the response we will get. Let me save this, run this program. So we got some, okay, let us see. So can I say that this is a response I got? See here, this is a status code is 200. That means, can I say that it is okay?
Yes.
Okay. Now headers is this is the header. Okay. Then now can I say that this is the body, response body, correct? Now response body, I'm getting some HTML. Let me copy this HTML, save it in .html format. Now let me say Control S. What I'm doing, all files. Now I'm putting 2.html. Because see, why am I saving this as HTML? Can I say that the response body is this looking like some HTML tag or not?
Yes.
Here doc type HTML. So that's the reason I'm saving it as HTML. I'm clicking on desktop. Okay. Now save. Now whenever I'm hitting at google.com, I'm getting a response. What is the response I got in the Java program? I got a response, correct? Now let us look at this 2.html. Click on this one. See, am I getting a Google search page, home page?
Yes.
So see here, you look at here. Is it, am I double clicking on the local response or am I clicking on the google.com?
Response, we are clicking on the response.
Whatever the response that we have saved just now, I am opening. So that means, am I able to hit the service and get the response?
Yes, we are able.
Yes.
Yeah. That means, do you do with the Postman, do you do the same?
Yeah, even Postman also will do the same.
Yeah. So now from Java 11 onwards, if you want to test it, you don't need to wait for the Postman. You can directly do with a HTTP client. This is a new change that is introduced in Java 11. Okay. And if you want to set headers, you can also set the headers here. New builder dot. Let us look at here, header. Okay. Set header method is there. By calling this method, you can set the header. Okay. Now look at here, build, copy, get. So different things, whatever you see, if you want to call the post method, you can call the post. It's a put method, put. Timeout also you can put. Okay, version, what is a version? We already mentioned, so you don't need to mention here. Okay. So this is the beauty of HTTP client. Using the HTTP client, whatever you want doing with the help of Postman, the same thing you can do. You can try for any other website as well. So Google is generally, if I have some website that I don't know whether that website is working or not, correct? But Google is something which I can rely on. So that's the reason I have mentioned the Google. Okay. So now the first thing that you need to remember is, first you need to create a HTTP client. How do you create a HTTP client? In the HTTP client class, there is a builder method. By calling this builder method and providing the version and timeout, you can get a HTTP client. And then using this HTTP client, you can send a request. So in order to send a request, we use a send method. What does the send method will do? It will take a request and it will tell you what is the response. Here, what is this HTTP response.bodyHeld.offString? That means I want the response in the format of a string. Then I have to use this offString method. That means see here, whatever the response I am getting, look at here. This response is type of a string only, correct? What is a generic string? So whatever the HTML I got, is it a string or not? Here, response dot body. So if you want to get the response in terms of a string, then you need to use this. If you want something else, then you can select it here. See, of byte array, of file, you want to write this data directly to the file, you can also write, correct? See what I have done, once I get the response, what I have done, I have gone to the file and then saved that file as a HTML file. But can I directly write of file? And I will mention the path, this output will be written to the file automatically. Yes or no? Hope you are able to hear me.
Yes.
Yeah. So of string I'm using, so I'm getting a string. You can try you can try what you can do by giving the of file. You can write this response is getting added to the file, and then you directly double click on the file, it will get open. Okay. Now, so this send method is taking a request and it is letting you know what type of a response you're getting. Yeah, Harish, I just muted you. There was a background noise. Okay. Now, how to create a request? In the request, you need to set what website you are accessing. So if you are accessing your REST API, which you are testing with a Postman, that URL you can give. And at the same time, whenever you need to set a headers, whenever you're calling the post method, you need to set some getters and so some what you call some values, right? So that also you can set using a set header method and all. And then you can call build method. So this is how the HTTP client will work in from Java 11 onwards. In order to work, connect to your application, test it. If you do not have a Postman, then also you can work. Any questions? Anyone? Is it understood? Should I repeat?
Yes, understood.
Others? Harish, Melvin, Atul.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Yeah. Srivalli, Sohini, Sanjay.
And if it don't respond within the time,
Then we'll get a connection timeout.
no, like if it don't respond within the time, if I want to make a call again,
You can call that again, right? You can keep this send method again. Like you can keep this one HTTP client in a for loop.
no, instead of for loop, like automatically it can detect and make a call. Like if it is down, server is down.
You can write a code, right? So then what you can do is you can what
make a call. It should wait.
Yeah, there was a lag from your end. Maybe it's some network issue. Yes, you can write. If the status code is greater than or equal to 500, what you can do is you can create a time. What you can do is so you can make the thread to sleep for some time and then call the send method again, correct? So you want to sleep. So you want to call this one automatically, correct? So what happens is whenever response. So here after this, I will check response dot status code. It's a int. Is greater than or equal to 500. Can I say that if it is greater than or equal to 500, server timeout, correct? Now you are saying that you need to access after some time. Then I will make the current thread dot sleep. Thread dot sleep. Sorry, I don't need the current thread. Thread dot sleep. What this method will do? It will make the current thread to go into the sleep method for some time. And then what I will do, I can write this code in some method. So after this one, I will call the same method again. So what it will happen after, so whenever this status code is 500, the thread will go into the sleep mode, and does the sleep method will release the lock or will not release the lock? My question is, it will not release the lock. That means any
Yes.
other thread cannot access it, correct? So I will, what I can do is this one, these 2 lines of code I can, or whatever this HTTP client I will code, I'll put it in a different method. So first I will check it. So if I am getting a status code is 500, then I will make the thread to sleep and then I call that method again. So that means automatically see, whenever you're getting some time, you're sleeping, you're making the current thread to wait for some time and then you can access it again. For example, you want to book a TTD ticket, Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam ticket. Assume that website is down. You want to test after 5 minutes or 10 minutes or IRCTC ticket, right? So if that website is down, you want to do it continuously. Then what you can do? You can, unless until you can keep this in the while loop and then do the same thing, correct? Hope the one, is it Sohini or Sivali, the one who asked the question? May I know who is the one who asked the question? Okay, fine. Whoever has the answer, like, did I able to answer your question? Okay, I think they're gone. Okay, let's repeat that.
Yeah, she's not here.
Yeah, I think we'll ask that. We'll ask her if she wanted to do automatically, then this is also automation, one kind of. Okay. Now, so apart from this, there is another thing called, so you guys know there was a question, the out of memory error is occurring. Then what should I do, correct? So I told that from the Splunk log, you can get the thread dump and then you can analyze it. Okay. So from Java 11, there is one more thing has been introduced called Java Flight API. Okay. So, and then Java Mission Control. There are 2 things. Okay. Now I have, I'll show you some small program where there is a problem of what you call out of memory. Okay. So there is a memory leak. This is a program. So it is just producer consumer problem. Okay. I'm just using a queue concept. Don't worry about this, what program it is. So this program will give me out of memory error. My intention is to show you the out of memory error. Let us run the program, run as Java application. Yeah. Am I getting out of memory error? Look at here. Java heap space. This kind of exception that you get in your project or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is most frequently common, right? Okay.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
the thing is, how can I analyze it? And then how can I solve this question? That is a question, correct? Yeah. So in order to see now I don't worry about this, what program is. Okay. This program is doesn't matter, have a matter because there is some program. If not this one, there is some other problem which will give you the out of memory error. Whenever you are getting a out of memory error using the Flight API, you can do the analyzation. So in order to do the analyzation, what we have to do is, so first you need to compile the program. So currently in, what is the class name? Memory leak. Yeah, sorry. So I have compiled the program. See, compilation is success. After that, so you need to, in order to analyze this dump. So whenever you are getting a out of memory error, you need to analyze this, which method is taking a time, etc. and all, right? You need some thread dump. So in order to do that, so how do you do? There is a, from Java 11, there is a API called Flight Recording, Flight API. Okay. Now you need to use this command. Are you able to see command in my screen? Java-XX start flight recording, duration 30 seconds, settings profile, file name leak.jfr. So here that means whenever you are using this command and whenever there is a out of memory error, then that out of memory error, wherever it is coming, entire data will be written to the file called leak.jfr. See here, you can give your name, any file also. The extension of that file is JFR. JFR is nothing but Java flight recording. JFR is nothing but Java flight recording. So now let me access this one. Okay, let me enter this one. Okay, done. See, started recording line number 1, the result will be written to this file. Now where this file is there? Okay. Ashok IT Java 11 features leak.jfr. Let me go to the Ashok IT Java 11 features leak.jfr. When it has created, look at here, 1910, just now, 937, see, 937, just now it is created. Now let's open this one. So whenever you want to open this one, it is, if you open this in the Notepad++ and all, it will not work, okay? Now, in order to open this JFR file, you need Java Mission Control. You need Java Mission Control. So there is some API called Java Mission Control. Let me show you this, Java Mission Control. So it is my local, right? So that's the Java Mission Control. So this is a tool through which you can analyze the Java flight recording. So let me show you. Let's open this one. Now, first of all, you need to download the software Java Mission Control. So using the Java Mission Control, look at here, Java Flight Recorder Runtime Guide. Okay, look at here. So Java Mission Control. So you need to download this software. From where you can download? From the Oracle website itself. Go to google.com, Java Mission Control download. Just click on this one. Just click on the Oracle. No, not this one. Let's go to the Oracle website. Click on this Oracle website. Okay. You can go to the download section. And here you see, based on your operating system, you need to download. Similar to Java, you need to download Java Mission Control. The short form for Java Mission Control is JMC. You double click on this one. Whenever you double click on this one, let me show you that what happens. See, the file like this zip file will be downloaded. You just need to extract it. Once you extract it, that will be like, let me open where it is down extracted. Yeah, it is extracted to the, yeah, here it is extracted. Now you go to this Java JDK Mission Control and then click on this JMC button. So there is some issue in my local, it is not opening. So once you double click on this one, the Java Mission Control gets opened. In that one, you need to open this JFR file. So just now we have, whenever there is a out of memory error, using the flight recording, you have created a JFR file. You open this JFR file in the Java Mission Control. Then it will show you what is a thread dump, where the problem has occurred, etc. Some details. So I'll show you the Java. Okay. So here, whenever you are opening that Java, let me show you, because since I have the problem, right? Yeah. Are you able to see my screen? So here, whenever you open that leak.jfr file, I'll try to get the issue fixed and I'll show it in the upcoming classes. So here you can see byte array, it is taking total allocation 2.626 memory of your heap space. That means whenever you get now the question, answer to the question, what happened, what you should do whenever you get a out of memory error, or how can I analyze or how can I solve the out of memory error? This is the interview asked question. Then what you can do is you can tell them that whenever we get out of memory error, so using the Java flight recording, you can see, you can start by using this command. I'll give you this command. No, don't worry. Using this command, if you run the program, whenever there is a issue of out of memory error, then that all the stacks will be written into one JFR file. What is a JFR file? Java flight recording. So it will create a file, and that file, if you open in the Java Mission Control, if you open that file in the Java Mission Control, we can see how much total, what is the heap space, where the problem is, etc. By looking at this Java Mission Control, you can analyze where the problem is coming, which variable is taking time, where the blocking is happening, etc. We can analyze the code and then we can solve the problem. So this is how you can do. You need a Java Flight API and then Java Mission Control. So Java Flight API and Java Mission Control are the external tools before Java 11. So still the Java Mission Control, you need to download it, but Java Flight API comes with a Java 11 from Java 11 itself. You don't need to have separate software. So Java Flight API, before Java 11, you need to have a separate software. But from Java 11 onwards, Java Flight API is a inbuilt software. In order to start or enable the Java Flight API, you need to use this command. Java followed by -XX start flight recording. Duration equal to 30 seconds. That means it will record for 30 seconds. And what is the file name you want to give? Whatever the name, followed by the JFR. Any questions?
Sir, I like do we use this only when there is a memory leak? Means if in production, if I get memory leak, how I'll apply this one?
Yeah. So what you can do is like, so automatically whenever there is out of memory error, so in the production, generally the Splunk will be there already, correct? So that Splunk automatically records all the logs and heap dumps, etc. But if you, so whenever there is out of memory error, can I say that your server will be stopped? Yes or no?
Yes.
So what you can do is whenever you start the server, you need to start this flight recording. Whenever you start in the production environment, you need to start the flight recording. Automatically, it will record whenever there is a out of memory error. That out of memory error will be written into a file called JFR. Okay. And that JFR file you can open in the Java Mission Control and then analyze where the issue is happening. Like, is it because of a heap memory, or is it because of a permanent gen, or is it because of a query that is taking a time, etc. That you can analyze using Java Mission Control. In the production environment, you need to enable this one, Java Flight Recording. By default, it will be disabled. You need to enable it. But generally, we don't do this because in the production, all the companies will use a Splunk or some other logging tools. Those are licensed. Automatically, those will come with a like what you call enabled options. But if you want to use a Java Flight API, you can do this one. To answer the interview question, what you can say is you can enable the Java Flight recording, which is a new feature of Java 11, so that you don't need to buy any other software. Okay. In the production, you need to enable the Java Flight recording. How do you enable? Whenever you are starting your server, you need to call this method, like you need to set the arguments. Where do you set the arguments? In server, when sometimes we use WebLogic or WebSphere or IBM. You can say Glassfish, Apache Tomcat. These are the servers that we use for a production environment, correct? Yes or no? So in the server, there will be some place where you can mention how much heap space you want to access, how much permanent generation space you want to keep it. So what is a young generation space, everything. So there, what you can do is you can mention the start flight recording and duration equal to how much duration whenever there is an error, how much duration you want to access it. So by mentioning this command, it will enable the flight recording API. Automatically, whenever there is a memory leak, the JFR file will be created. This JFR file will be analyzed using the Java Mission Control tool. So this is what you can answer them. Shivali, hope I have answered your question. Or still, do you need any clarity?
Sir, for the legacy applications, we have to externally download and use it, right?
Yes. So others, see, before this, see, in Java 11, did I do anything? For Java Mission Control, I used a tool, download. But for flight recording, I did not do anything, correct? But if you try the same command in the Java 9 application, I don't think it will work. This has, because in my laptop, Java 11 is installed. Hence, I'm able to call this command. If it is Java 11, if it is you are having Java 9 or 8, this command won't work. So for Java 9, if you want to do, you need to have external softwares and all. Yes, Shivali, does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, thank
Yeah. And you have asked another question earlier, right? You have dropped off. So you want to do automatically, correct? Did you get that answer also, or should I explain?
in recordings that make others are
Yeah. So you said that for a HTTP client, you want to access it again and again, correct? So for
Yes.
example, assume that you are booking a Tirumala TTD booking or IRCTC, the website is down. You want to see whenever you want to click it, every 10 minutes, you want to access hit the website, correct? So if you want to do,
Yes.
what you can do is, so now you need to wait for some time, correct? Whenever there is a, see, can I say that the website is down by looking at the response code?
Yes.
So response code is greater than or equal to 500 is nothing but a server is down. So then what I'm doing, thread.sleep, the current thread will go to the sleep. If you want to hit for after 10 minutes, after 30 minutes, after 40 minutes, based on that, you can mention the time here. So till that time, can I say that the current thread will go into the sleep? And it will not give the access to any other threads, correct? Now, after that, what you can do, you call this method again. So you want to repeat this until continuously, then what you can do, this HTTP client send all this method, all this code, you can put it in one method, and then you can write while loop, while true. So if I write this code, can you say that it will automatically execute whenever you get any code lesser than, if the status code is less than or equal to 400, then you can break it, correct?
Yes. Yes. Sir.
So this is how you can do it automatically. It is not that simple, but this is how at least I'm giving you the idea.
Okay. Okay.
So in order to do this, whatever the HTTP client requests this code, you need to put it in a method. Assume that you are writing that in the method M1. So what I will do first, I will call M1. Okay. M1 is the method you kept it, or else what I will keep call HTTP client. I created assume that I created a method called HTTP client. Inside that I have written all this code, HTTP client.send request and client. Okay. Now it is giving you the response. Okay. Now what I will do, if the response is greater than or equal to 500, what I will do, a response greater than 500, then I'm making the thread to sleep for some time. And then I will, after this time, the thread will come back to the runnable pool. And then I will ask the thread to execute the same method. Okay. Now, after this one, after execution, this again, the while is true. That means it will execute again. It will look at for if the thread is status is 500 or not. Whenever it is less than or equal to 500, I'm breaking it out. This is one way, like it is not the ideal way, but if you want to do automatic checking and all, this is one way you can do it. Hope that does that answer your question? Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions, anyone? So with that Flight API, so we have completed all the topics of Java 11. So does anyone has any doubts? So tomorrow and day after tomorrow, we are going to, I'm going to ask the questions all related to the Java 8, 9, 11. That means you can think that as a review of the entire session or recap of entire session. And when I say recap, I don't answer. I will ask the question. You guys need to answer it. Okay. Because it's been a month, whatever we have discussed in the initial days of the course, you might have forgotten. So I just wanted to recap those things and ask the questions. And if possible, I'll try to send one exam document so that you can practice whenever you have time. And one more thing I wanted to say, someone asked about the Java, core Java class, right? So I'm going to start core Java and data structures from 2nd November, which is nothing but after Diwali. So after Diwali, core Java class will be starting at 9 AM, the same time as Java new features. And data structures class will start at 7:30 AM. So if any of you are interested, you can start joining the demo class. And during the demo class, you can understand what we are going to discuss, etc. Let me show you this one. So this I'll share this posters with you guys. So data structures and algorithms at 2nd November, 7:30 a.m. And there's a Zoom link. I'll share it. And at the same time, Core Java also we are Core Java also at 9 a.m. Whatever the timing of this Java new features class, I'm going to start the Core Java. So in the Core Java, we'll discuss completely and all the in-depth of features of Core Java. When I say Core Java, it is not like just concept oriented. Whatever I teach, I'll tell you practically. And if possible, what we can do is we'll go to even in HackerRank or OCJP questions will be there, right? We'll go to some website and we'll try to solve those questions at the whenever we get time, like on Saturday or some Sunday. We'll try practicing the Oracle OCJP questions over the website. We'll take some website and we'll try to look at the question and then try to put the answer based on our understanding. So that also we can try. Any questions? I'll let you know the fees of Core Java tomorrow, and data structures is around 7,000 for live classes. And if you would like to have the recording, then it is 10,000. Any questions, anyone?
No, sir.
If no question, that's all for today, guys. I will share this posters with you in the Telegram group. If any of your friends are interested, I request you to please inform them. And then you can join the courses first. And if you feel that it is beneficiary for you, then you can start attending it. Okay. Yeah. That's all from me, guys. If no question, that's all for today. Thank you all. Thanks for joining. Have a nice day. Yeah, well, okay, fine. Thank you.